Today's show is sponsored by Policy Genius. If you have a family, you need life insurance. It's that simple. So why is buying it so complicated? Policy Genius asked themselves that question. Then they started a company and reinvented the process from start to finish. If you have anyone relying on your income, you need life insurance. Policy Genius makes it easy to get life insurance done and done right. Policy Genius makes it easy to compare quotes from over a dozen top insurers all in one place. You can save 50% or more on life insurance by comparing quotes with Policy Genius. You could even save $1,300 or more per year on life insurance by using Policy Genius to compare your policies. To take advantage of this right now, head over to policygenius.com/morninginvest. Again, it's policygenius.com/morninginvest. Thanks to Policy Genius for sponsoring this show. Here's another big story. So the IRS, folks, is coming for you. If you're a cryptocurrency investor and you've made profits from cryptocurrency, we knew this was coming. I warned you about this. But the IRS, is getting bigger and is getting stronger, and they're looking for revenue and they're looking for profits to be able to take and taxes, and they're coming after cryptocurrency investors who aren't reporting the cryptocurrency and paying their taxes properly. Here's front page today of this, the Wall Street Journal. The IRS is coming for crypto investors who haven't paid their taxes. On the hunt for tax cheats, Uncle Sam is winning court battles to force cryptocurrency exchanges to reveal their customers. Your big unreported profits on Bitcoin, Ether or Dogecoin, could translate into big problems with the IRS. Now, we warned you about this a few weeks ago here on the show because there are a lot of people who are making a ton of money in cryptocurrency, and their flashiness, they're showing like, we bought this Ferrari, this Lamborghini, and all of this stuff. We spoke to Michael Saylor here on the show. He said it's fine. Like if you want to, buy a Ferrari, buy a Lamborghini or whatever, but you have to do it correctly. You have to do it the way that smart, wealthy people do, and you use debt to do it. You don't use this cryptocurrency. You're not taking this cryptocurrency and buying this and then getting these profits, and then that's a taxable event as a result of it. You want to make sure that you want to go through the tax process properly. Otherwise, you're going to get hit by Uncle Sam. Here's what Tom Wheelwright had to say about it. He's one of the smartest tax accountants in the world and a friend of ours, and he is actually our accountant. He had this to say about what you need to watch out for if you are a crypto investor.
What is IRS saying about virtual currency?
Well, they say a couple of things that I think is really important. First of all, that anytime you use or trade your virtual currency, that's a taxable transaction. So, let's give an example. Let's say that Bitcoin became a normal trade. You go buy groceries. When you bought groceries with Bitcoin, that would be taxable because it would be considered a trade for Bitcoin for US dollars. So every time you spend Bitcoin, every time you sell Bitcoin, all of that is taxable. And here's the thing. So on your tax return now, there is a box you have to check to say, did you trade Bitcoin? Well, that means, did you do anything other than just buy it? Okay, if you bought it, you don't have to mark that box. But any other use of it, you have to mark that box. If you don't mark that box, Robert, it's a felony. This is not a civil penalty. Most things on a tax return are just civil penalties, right? They're just, okay, I pay the penalty, get my wrist slapped, and I go on my way. Not with this one. This is a felony. They will come after you if you don't mark that. And in fact, you should have marked it.
Trust.
Cryptocurrencies exploding. The Internal Revenue Service pursuit of Americans who aren't paying taxes on them. With tax day approaching, it's a good time to clean up your act, says the Wall Street Journal. 2 new IRS efforts to find crypto tax cheats stand out. In April, a federal judge in Boston approved an IRS summons to the payments company known as Circle and its affiliates, including Polynex. Is Circle like a Stripe? Is that what that is?
I've never heard of it.
They want their customer records turned over to the agency. And in early May, a federal judge in San Francisco approved another IRS summons for records to the crypto exchange known as Kraken. Both cases, the turnover applies to customers who had more than $20,000 in transactions in any year from 2016 to 2020.
Can't have these little people out here making money, man. Can't have them. You know, they got to go after them. Can't go after the big corporations that are doing tax cheats like paying $700 in taxes with $1 billion in profits. Got to go after these little players.
What about all of the tax cheats, all of the billionaires that are offshoring money and hiding things? You know, that's what Elizabeth Warren has been talking about. Like, what if we funded the IRS so that they could actually go after these big fish, where they believe they could raise upwards of $800 to $1 trillion, $800 billion up to $1 trillion from all of these big whales who are tax cheats? But no,
they got to go after John Nobody that made $20,000. And it's probably the only thing they have in savings.
The Kraken and Circle summonses are the IRS's way of getting at information it can't otherwise get. Because, you know, all this stuff is secretive, right? It's anonymous. So who are your customers? What do the transaction records look like? I'm sure this is going to happen with Coinbase sooner or later. If not already, it's going to happen sooner or later. Especially now that Coinbase is public. It's a public company. And because you're getting so much more major cryptocurrencies now flowing through Coinbase. We learned that Coinbase is going to be adding Dogecoin to its marketplace, which is huge. Another, I guess, validation for Dogecoin, which is at 53 cents right now and rising today, up 25% in just a short amount of time. So once again, Doge on the rise after Elon Musk tweeted about it. Just a short time ago, saying that working with Doge developers to improve system transaction efficiency, potentially promising. So that's where Elon Musk threw his weight behind. Everyone's wondering, well, now he's kind of saying bad things about Bitcoin. Is he going into something else in Doge? But we got to be careful about this, folks. This is, if you're not reporting these things to the IRS, they're going to come after you. Again, it's a taxable event. And as Michael Saylor says, if you buy Bitcoin, why would you ever sell it? It represents property. It represents a store of value. And as I asked Michael Saylor, if you haven't watched that full interview, we have the full interview, link it up here. You can watch the full interview. He says, you know, why would you ever sell Bitcoin? It's a store of value and it's the best possible asset. So why would you pay for a car with Bitcoin? Which doesn't make any sense to me either. Like, why would you buy a Tesla with Bitcoin? Like, the economics of it doesn't make sense. So you're going to buy a depreciating asset as a car with an appreciating asset like Bitcoin? Doesn't make any sense. That's like taking a house that has value as an appreciation against, you know, as a hedge against inflation, and you're going to go and buy dinners with it. Like, it doesn't make sense. But the IRS, you know, make no mistake about it, they are emboldened. A spokesman for Circle said the company expects to work with the IRS in responding to the summons. We are concerned about governmental intrusion into our customers' privacy and hope to work with the IRS in a way that protects our clients' interests. And this isn't the first time, they say. Another summons, from Coinbase. They got information from 13,000 customers. The agency then sent letters to those people. So it was like, hey, we got your information. Now the IRS is sending a letter out to you because we got our information from Coinbase. Hey, you might want to pay your taxes because we know who you are.
Well, the thing is that, I mean, at the very least, the IRS and everything makes it very easy to understand how to file those taxes. You know what I mean? Like, it's such a simple process to figure out like what your profits were and exactly how to file. So thank you for them for that. At least.
Yeah, very easy. Thank you for that. You got to check box X15, and then you got to carry the 1 over to box 259. And if you're a dependent. Now, if you're not a dependent or you're withholding, then you got to go to page 45.
Right. Because like I took my profits from Bitcoin, but I put it into Doge and lost all of it back. So do I still pay taxes on the profit I made before I lost it again? Like, how does all that? It's such a confusing system.
Capital gains. You know, what are your capital gains for the year? You know, Coinbase customers have entered a lot of them said they have entered the IRS's voluntary disclosure program for taxpayers with criminal liability. This program usually lets participants out of prosecution but imposes large penalties. And these audits are going to continue. The IRS also cited, without names, several taxpayers it has been examining whose accounts more than $5 million crypto transactions. I wonder how many of these are like the 30-year-olds, who have like YouTube channels. They're like, that every day they do a Dogecoin. They're like, Dogecoin to the moon, and they're making all kinds of profits and selling them like crazy. Sorry, you better. That's why, we try with our accountant. We have a great accounting team to cross every T, dot every I,